Hi, this is Gary Kay, and you are watching a video version of my Rants and Raves podcast. And a familiar face, Rich Ventura, who's the Vice President of Business Development and Solutions for NEC Display. How are you doing, Rich?
I'm doing great, Gary. How are you doing?
Doing great. We have a lot to talk about. Offline, we were talking about our respective college football teams because we're both big fans, which bonds us forever. But we want to talk about InfoComm, and I certainly one of the I think my based on what I've seen from the manufacturers leading up to the show and what integrators are talking about with me on social media a lot recently has been collaboration board technology. And you guys launched a partnership with T1V for the ThinkHub, and you've grown that product line. And I think that's going to be a big draw for your booth this year. Am I right? What do you think?
Yeah, we're really excited. We launched our partnership with T1V back in September of last year. And the focus is to really get a product out there that meets multiple needs and not just be a singular focused product, right? And the thing that attracted us with the ThinkHub is that it's a multi-platform product. Yeah. It can communicate with iOS, Mac, Linux, Windows, Android, and really connect and link with those devices wirelessly and allow you for true collaboration. And then the multi-site capability is phenomenal, having multiple sites truly collaborating together with the same platform. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, and the fact that you have a company like T1V that you've partnered with on that makes it a more powerful product, quite honestly, because you're adding your expertise on the hardware and connectivity side, and they're adding their expertise on the collaboration side. And so I think that's made for a good partnership.
No, definitely. And, we've been doing these road shows. We've just finished our last one in Northern California last week. So we've been doing these road shows and getting it out there in front of the integrators and the end user community. And it's been a massive response. I mean, I think between the 4 road shows, we had close to 500 people come and see, touch, feel, and engage, interact with the hub. What we've done recently, and we're going to be showing them for the first time here at InfoComm, is we've announced the new integrated units with the Bonto Shadow Sense Touch.
Yeah.
So we have 5 models now, and so we'll be showing the 84-inch 4K and then the 55-inch 1080p unit, and they'll be communicating with each other. And we'll be depending on how the wireless works at the show, we'll be communicating with our friends over at T1V in their booth as well.
Oh, that'll be a good demo, and that's good to know. So are all the products now shipping?
Yes. We've been shipping since September. The new integrated units have been shipping. We actually just shipped out the first 3 clients' products here in the last couple of weeks.
Excellent. So that'll be in booth 1600. I don't even know that I need to say your booth number because you're easy to find right there in that main aisle, NEC Display 1600. So let's talk about what else you're going to show at the show. Another big area that's really popular right now, and you have clearly a leadership position on, is projection technology, and you're going to have your laser projectors there, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. We're going to be showcasing a lot of our laser projectors, everything from traditional to showing projection. We've got edge blending going on. So if you remember at DSE, we did the edge blending with 2 projectors. We're running with Max Media's retail content. We'll be doing the same type of configuration. We'll also be doing some projection, some stacking and projection onto the floor. So we've got a special screen that Draper built for us that we'll be projecting on the floor with 3 projectors.
Oh, that'll be nice. And the thing about laser that's neat is that you can do stuff like that and not have any issues with colorimetry and brightness and uniformity that you couldn't do with other projection technology. I mean, do you agree that there's the call that projector's going to die is a bit exaggerated?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, we're still seeing about 20-25% of digital signage applications are using projector. So either projection mapping, projecting onto larger walls because you really can't support LCDs or direct view LED, being able to do multiple projections to it. We're also still seeing it going into places like command and control and network operation centers, where they just don't have the space to put a wall up, or they want the ability of a makeshift screen very quick and easily. So the other thing you'll see tied with projection is this company we work with out of Dallas called Glass Media. And I don't know if you remember them. They make a very slick projection glass. So that's really focused towards retail and the quick serve restaurant space. So we'll be showcasing actually a couple of their solutions in our booth as well.
And not to mention education. I mean, I teach at the University of North Carolina. They're getting ready to upgrade supposedly all 350 or so of their classrooms, and they're putting projectors in nearly all of them, because what they have found is that the cost over time is less expensive for the size. Because you know, most of those classrooms need 90, 100, 120 inch images, so those are slam dunk projector. But even the smaller rooms are finding that the cost for the size is, especially with the new laser technology, is more affordable.
It is.
What about your video walls? I mean, that's a big area that NEC has been very dominant in recently. And I don't mean just LCD, but also LED based products. Will there be a new focus on that, a new product focus on that, or what can we expect at InfoComm?
So you're going to see a couple things at InfoComm. Let's start small scale. So we introduced last year the EX241UN. It's a 24-inch, very thin bezel product, which has video wall capability in the display. And so you're talking a 24-inch, and they go, well, why would I want a 24-inch and do a video wall with it? So what you're going to see in our booth is an actual 2x4. So it'll be 2 across, 4 high video wall. So it's a very long, narrow solution. And what's great is every screen is 1920 by 1080, and we're going to be utilizing the resolution on it. And we're working with BrightSign, and we're using the BrightSign's video wall capability with their players. And we're going to have this really slick retail wall that's going to be designed so something that you can look at a very narrow space where you really can't put a large video wall in. So you start there. Then you go into the big video wall products, our 55s, our 46 and our 55-inch panels. In the front of the booth, if you remember last year, we had a really big, massive LCD video wall. We're going to have that again. It's going to be 4 across, 4 high, 55-inch in portrait. So very high res, targeted towards the retail space. So working with Max Media, we're going to have an extremely high resolution retail focused video wall. In other areas of the booth, you hit it on the button with direct view LED. We'll have a broadcast stage that's going to be showcasing, I believe, 2.5 millimeter LED. We'll also have, I believe, a 1.5 millimeter roughly, or 1.25 millimeter HDR 4K LED wall as well. So we're going to be showcasing some.
Have you officially launched that? Because I don't recall seeing anything about that.
Well, the official launch will be at InfoComm.
Okay, so 1.25, 1.25.
I think it's 1.25. I believe it's 1.25 or it's 1.5.
But it's HDR.
Millimeter. Yeah, it's we're going to be showing HDR 4K.
Okay, so you're the only other. There's only one other company that has an HDR LED. So that's impressive. I think that will be very popular.
It is, and what's great is what we did was we reached out to our friends over at Red Digital Cinema, and so we're actually running Red Digital Cinema content on there.
For those people that don't know, most of the digital movies movies that are shot digitally now are using, probably the great majority are using Red Digital Cinema.
Yeah, and so we started a partnership with them at DSE. So at DSE, we showcased a much smaller scale wall with some content from Red. We've expanded it now to really running this HDR content, and we're working on a bunch of stuff with them that's really trying to, how do we shift the paradigm of video walls and the content that you're showing on them.
Yeah, and by the way, I want to show you something here. I'm not sure how well this will turn out, but you notice this video wall we have here in the office. We got NEC. At some point in time, we'll have to change that to LED, but we're very happy with that. These things are running almost 24/7 recently, and they're doing great. So
excellent. Excellent.
Okay, so I happen to know something of a secret that you're going to do at the show that I know you don't want me to tell anybody what it is, but I will say this. Number one, they will never have ever seen this before. Number two, if they go into this exhibit that you have, they're going to come out talking about it and telling other people to go into it. And number three, it will spark creativity. And that's what we need a little bit in the industry with how to do some creative stuff with displays. Did I do a decent job kind of pitching it without telling them the details?
You did. I mean, the other thing I will add into this is it's not just a visual experience. There will be audio as part of this as well. So there's, I think, 7 partners that have all worked together on delivering what we're going to be showcasing. And it's not just a showcase, hey, here's great technology. This is actual true application. and there's a lot of application for it. So it's something that, based on the feedback I've had from some of the people who know about what we're doing, they're kind of lining up on when they can actually get access to the spot and want to do a lot of press around it, but also just to engage with what we're showcasing. Yeah,
I'll definitely want to be there on Tuesday to shoot it if and when it's available. It's going to be in booth 1600 at NEC Display. I'm 99% sure that there'll be a line for this. And
that's our hopes. It's our hopes. I mean, what it goes along with is you look at what we're trying to do with the overall booth. The overall booth is really about real life experiential application, right? So as you look at every vertical market, everything that we're showing is true application, true something that you would use in real life, be it corporate communications, be it interactive retail digital signage, be it broadcasting, our analytics RFID area, which you saw at DSE, our embedded solutions area, showcasing stuff like Raspberry Pi and the BrightSign OPS and our OPS technology. Everything's focused around real life application and getting people starting to think about how they can really utilize the product.
Yeah, and you do a great job with applications-oriented displays, and I thought what you did at DSC was phenomenal. My favorite thing you didn't even mention, which was the I'm trying to think the best way to say it, smart trash can, I would call it.
Oh, smart trash, yeah.
Yeah, I love that product, and of course, since it's the company that makes it from North Carolina, I have a little bit of a affinity for it, but it's a neat little concept. It's a really creative way of using digital signage. And as I've told many people for many years, the first place I ever heard the term digital signage was NEC some 12 years ago now, talking about it in one of their flyers, and I was like, what does that mean exactly? And I started Googling it to see exactly what that was talking about, because the term wasn't really thrown around. What's amazing about that is how fast that market has grown. We're talking about it being a $22 billion market by, as you know, 2020. And you're the president, right? I think they call you president or chairman of the DSF. So I want to put in a plug for that, the Digital Signage Foundation. So I want to give you a chance to talk about that and see if you can get people involved, especially those that are involved with digital signage.
Yeah, no, I'm the chairman of the DSF, so the Digital Signage Federation. So this is, I'm run chairman through the end of the year. So each chairman gets 1 year, and the focus is heavily about education, standardization, collaboration, networking, and really driving the industry. We have a little over 500 members. We're constantly growing. We have a very heavy focus, obviously, within the integration community. The integration community is so important when it comes to digital signage, digital out-of-home, interactive solutions, kiosks, you name it. So there's a heavy focus within that space. I would say if you look at our membership, about 40% of our members are end users. So we definitely bring a very broad stroke to this. And what's great about the DSF, it is truly the only global digital signage organization. We have our European group, we have our group in Canada, and later this year we'll hopefully be announcing a new group that's going to be south of the border in Latin America as well. So we're heavily focused on how we grow and educate and develop the industry.
Is it digitalsignagefederation.com or is it dsf.org? I can't remember.
Digitalsignagefederation.com, or you also can go to digitalsignagefederation.org. Either one of them will hit you to the website. Okay,
and this is the NEC Display booth 1600. Of course, you can see all of NEC stuff. On the day the show opens, they'll have everything on their website that they're showing at the show at necdisplay.com. Of course, we'll be covering it. We're going to shoot videos on everything we talked about, including the special exhibit that they have. So you can go to ravepubs.com/InfoComm2017 to see everything. Rich, thank you very much for joining me today.
No, thank you very much.
And thanks for watching.